All right, welcome to yoga. We have a new scenery. Really, we just flipped it so that there's more light coming in through the window, and it's actually a lot nicer, I think. Today we're going to focus on hips, like I said. And if we're going to do the music, let us start that together. It's the Embody playlist. We'll start with beginnings. Hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. All right. So we're still in the embodiment month. That's the theme for the month that I chose. And Robyn's going to lead us again in a little grounding kind of meditation work just to get us into our bodies and into the space. So come meet us on the mat. Start seated.
Okay, so we're going to start off by creating some energy. So we're going to create some heat by rubbing our hands together. So you can just start rubbing your hands together. And while you create this energy, I want you to think about how you want to feel during this practice tonight. It could be, you could want to feel peaceful, calm, positive, confident. Okay, now take your hands and place them on your heart and on your solar plexus here. So this is your connection to love and personal power. And I want you to give that feeling that you chose a color. And you can go ahead and close your eyes. And just envision that every time you breathe in, you're filling your body with that color. And just with each depth of your breath, expand that color from through your body to outside of your body into your aura. The deeper the breath, the wider that energy expands. Be here with your breath, and with your inhales, I want you to say to yourself, I feel. And with your exhale, I want you to say that emotion or feeling to yourself. This will be your mantra for our practice tonight. Just remember throughout your week or day, you can always come back to this practice and set this intention and breathe this color into your space. So with the next 3 breaths, I want this color, instead of there being borders around you, I want it to just dissolve into the space around you and just become your being, your existence. Just trust yourself for me right now. Trust that you feel the way you're intending to feel. Now let's take a couple more breaths. And with that trust, we'll just let it go. One more deep breath in. And out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Let's keep the hands here for a second. So I like this connection to belly and to chest. And let's just go over a little bit of breath work, just a few rounds again together, but consciously open eyes, seeing and feeling everything at the same time. So when you breathe in, I want you to feel your lower hand lift and raise. followed by your top hand. And then when you exhale, let the top hand decompress first, followed by your belly. That could be in and out of your nose, in through the nose, belly first, then chest. Exhale, chest. Then belly, feel it contract. Again, inhale. Belly to chest, all the way to the top. Exhale, chest. And then belly. Last one together. Breathe in belly. Breathe in chest. Exhale, chest. Exhale, belly. Feel it all the way there. And then let your hands come all the way down to your sides. Roll out your shoulders one at a time, going backwards and then forwards. Maybe you take them both in the same direction, letting your spine move with you, getting out of this, stuckness, this feeling of stillness. But then settle back into a really strong, still really energetic spinal alignment. And keep reaching your fingertips towards the floor if you can reach them. It's okay if you're sitting like me or like Robyn, but take your chin down to your chest. Just feel at the back of your neck. Maybe you start to round a little bit into your upper back or your low back if that feels good. And then sit up nice and tall again, keeping your chin in towards your chest. Rock your ears slowly from right to left. Move with your breath. Again, move with that intention. Let your body be the feeling that you intend to carry through. Maybe hang out on one side for 2 rounds. And then slowly switch it over, back through the middle, over to the other side. Keep your shoulder blades down and back so that your neck actually gets a little more traction. And then bring your chin back down to your chest. Roll your head back up. Let's shift off the blocks. Come forward onto your hands and your knees. Circle out your ankles if you need to. Get the cracks out. Circle your wrists if you need to. But we'll land again really strong with the hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Let's tuck the toes under so your feet stretch out. Breathe in, let's lift your tail. Pull your chest forward by engaging down into the floor with your hands. Lift your chin back up off your chest. Maybe stick your jaw out and forward. So you give yourself a little underbite, a little extra stretch to the front body. Breathe in, exhale and round out your spine completely. Tuck your tail under, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Push the ground away. Back in through the inhale, extend through your spine, pull your shoulder blades down your back, heart forward. Exhale and round. Feel your belly button lift. One more time, inhale, find your cow shape. Feel the eyes of the elbows come forward. Exhale, round out through your spine. Then come back to the center. Bring your knees together so you create this little tripod in your stance. And then take a breath in, kick your right leg back behind you. Let it hover at your hip height. When you breathe out, give a little tap to the outside of your arm. Feel your waistline come together and shorten on your right side. And then inhale, kick it back, lengthen right behind you, squeeze your glute. Exhale and tap your foot over to the left side of your mat and make your left waistline smaller. Then breathe in, take it back up through the middle. Exhale, give it a little tap, knee to tricep almost. Inhale, re-lengthen back behind you. Exhale, tap it over to the left. Gaze over your left shoulder too. One more time, breathe in and lift it up. Exhale, try to tap your knee towards your shoulder. Inhale, lengthen your leg back behind you. Exhale, tap it over to the left. Stay right there. And just let your hips sway with you, and you can almost dump into your right hip and let it lower down so that you can feel your upper thighs, upper inner thighs touching and connecting. You might feel an outer left glute sensation. You might feel your right ribs expanding with your breath. If you look over your left shoulder, maybe you feel something in that right side of your neck again. Stay right there. And breathe in and come back to the center. Lift that leg. Keep it right there at your hip height. And then maybe you bend your knee. You can open up and find a little extension through your chest. Keep a little balance between your right hand and your left knee. You can crawl your left fingertips forward or try to reach back. We're gonna grab for the top of the foot. Find a little more extension, open up through your chest. Point your toes up towards the sky. Make a little teardrop with your body. Find that balance and sensation. One more time. And exhale and let it all go. Find a little rounding in your back. Then come back to neutral spine as you breathe in. Settle in as you breathe out. Knees are back together. Inhale and kick your left leg long behind you. Exhale and tap it up and over to your left elbow. Inhale, kick it back. Find some length. Squeeze your glute. Exhale, tap it over to the right side of your space. Inhale, bring it back up to center. Exhale, carry it over to your left elbow. Inhale, find that length back. Exhale, find that cross. Last time. Breathe in to lift your leg. Find some energy all the way out through your heel. Exhale, use your core to pull your belly button up and your knee up. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, lengthen it over to the left or right side of your space. Gaze over your right shoulder and look for kind of the mirroring sensations. Keep breathing deep, belly and chest. Chest and the belly. Imagine your hands are swiping over to the left. Feel a little bit more. And then breathe in, come back to center with your leg lifted. But this time you can bend your knee and point your toes up towards the sky. Balance on your left hand and your right knee. Take your right fingertips forward or reach it all the way back. See if you can grab your foot and start to kick into your hand. Pull your chest open, pull the stretch open in the front of the body, your quad. You might need to squeeze your left glute one more time. And exhale and let all of that go. Take your knees together again and just push your hips side to side. One time or two times on each side before you come to knees wide, toes together. Push your hips back and feel into your first child's pose. So imagine you had some pressure all the way across your hips, low back, right around your sacrum, as if someone was anchoring your tailbone down towards your heels. I want you to feel this length in your spine, your upper back. When you exhale, every time you exhale, I want you to feel your heart drifting down towards the floor with the softness around your shoulders. No tension in the hands. Whatever you have in your hands energetically, right, that energy that we curated together by rubbing, I want you just to place it intentionally on your mat into the floor. Surrender yourself to the earth right here for 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhale and rise back up through tabletop. We'll keep the knees right underneath the hips again. Keep your right hand down. Breathe in, take your left arm up to the sky, shine your heart over. Exhale and take a twist. Wind yourself down so that you're on the back of your left shoulder. You're looking to the right. I want you to feel like you have a block in between your legs. You're squeezing energetically in together so that you can focus your twist in your upper back. Right arm can reach all the way up overhead, so you're starting to breathe into those lats and ribs more again into kind of like your underside body. You can take a half bind. Use your breath 2 more times. Just relax into it. You can put your right hand back down by your face. Breathe in, take your left arm up to the sky just to unwind once. Exhale and place that hand down. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Find a push with your left hand. Exhale, weave under. Let's go onto the back of the right shoulder. Look over to your left. So you're imagining that your knees are piercing down into the floor. It might feel even like your pelvis lifts up and you're pushing down with the back of your right hand so you can get your left shoulder over your right shoulder. That's the energy there. We started this practice with lighting some Palo Santo, like a stick of it. It's still going. Last breath. And bring your left hand back down right by your face. Breathe in, lift your right arm up. Find that stretch. Exhale and plant your hand down. Walk your hands forward. Knees are again just together, or not together, but underneath your hips. Tuck your toes under, breathe in, feel your chest expand. Exhale, lift up your knees, pull your belly button to your spine and find your downward facing dog. You can begin to pedal this one out, just like you're walking your dog. After a few pedals, I want you to find some stillness. Stillness in the body, but the energy, the breath that you have within you is still moving. Right? So I want you to feel into those hands again. Press down through the base of your index knuckle. Find the length in your arms. Let your arms rotate out. Let your spine, again, find length. And if that means bending your knees, totally okay. I'd rather you have a long spine and open shoulders for right now instead of, tight hamstrings. That's okay. We can always work on the hamstring part. Take one more breath here. Tailbone to the sky. Breathe in, lift your heels up, look forward at your thumbs. Breathe out, start to walk or hop all the way up to your hands with blocks or without, up to you, but have them at the top of your mat just so they're available. Okay, halfway lift as you breathe in. Shift the weight forward into your toes, hips over your heels. Spine is long. Exhale, round all the way down. And you can hold onto your elbows or hold onto the backs of your legs or ankles, or just let your arms dangle to the floor at a sway. Just like you're a big tree, feeling the wind push you around. But it's not too pushy. It's a gentle breeze. Notice what you feel right to left, front to back. You shift your weight forward or back into your heels. Notice how your body changes. And plant your fingertips down to your blocks or to the floor. Bend your knees. See that your feet are hip width distance apart before you start to rise. Slowly uncurling your spine. Once you stand tall, reach all the way up. See your hands come together. Exhale, pull your thumbs in towards your heart space. Close your eyes. Call in your intention. Breathe it in. I feel. Exhale your word. Then flow with your breath. Inhale, take that word all the way up through your prayer. Long arms. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Hinge at your hips. Feel your hamstrings as you shift forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to thighs or blocks. Exhale, fold yourself back down. Rise with a strong back, strong core. Inhale, come all the way up. Unhinge from your hips. Reach. Exhale, hands in towards your heart. Again, reverse prayer. Up towards the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, swan dive forward like you're diving off a cliff. Inhale, halfway lift. Take a peek over the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, unhinge. Open yourself up. This time, exhale, tailbone down. Pull your elbows wide. Start by lifting up through your chest. So Instead of dumping into your low back and letting your belly and your ribs flare forward, I want you to work on hiding your tail, hide your booty, and lift up through your sternum. Pull your elbows and shoulder blades back and together. Feel that spaciousness in your chest. Then breathe in, take it all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, dive it forward, find your blocks. Inhale, give yourself a halfway lift. And then keep your right foot forward, step your left foot back. Stay in this lunge, right, with the back knee lifted, but settle into your hips. I want your knee, front knee, over your ankle, settling into your hips. Feel the stretch in your left hip flexor. Take a breath in as you keep that long spine, chin off your chest. Breathe out, push into your blocks, try straightening out your front leg and fold in. Then inhale again, shift it forward, bend your knee, lift your heart, feel out that hip flexor by squeezing your left knee. Exhale, straighten out your right thigh. Let your left heel get really heavy. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, long pyramid pose. Last one, breathe in. Exhale and fold. You can stay right here just for 2 breaths. Last one. Breathe in. Let's bend into your right knee. Put your left hand down on your block or all the way onto the floor, right underneath your shoulder. Keep your hips low, back leg squeeze high. Breathe in, reach your right arm to the sky for a twist. You can stay right there, or if you need to touch your back knee down, that's okay too. You'll still get the benefits of the twist, the hip work, the openness, and we'll meet you there. Okay, take a breath in and a breath out. Lower your left knee down. Reach your right arm all the way back behind you again. And now kind of with the more settled nature of your hips, I want you to try to kick your foot into your hand. And this time we can maybe go a little deeper. You can start to bend into your elbow. You can really kick your heel towards your butt. Sometimes starting with your butt back and your heel glued up nice and close, then you can settle back in. You want to be more so on the top of your femur rather than your actual kneecap or patella. It makes it a little more comfortable. Then you can play with lowering down onto your forearm. You have the space. You can't see my front foot, but it's completely glued down. But if you like to ride over into your inner thigh, you can open up, lift your inside of your foot off the mat. How we doing there? My quad is like, oh, it's tight. Just wait till the right side. The right side, for whatever reason, I know one of the reasons, and it's because of the way our cars are set up here in America. We drive using the right foot unless you drive stick. So the left side, left quad is usually a little bit more open. Take one more breath to feel this out. And then without slingshotting your foot back, lower it softly. And square yourself back up over your front leg. Okay, this one's gonna be a fun one, a nice powerful one. You're gonna keep planting down through your right foot. Lift up your left knee. Start to walk your blocks forward so that you can launch off and just stand on your right foot and your left leg lifts, just like you did before in the tabletop, but now you're on hands and foot. So take a breath in, lift your foot high. Good, exhale and tuck your left knee behind your right shin or calf. Good, inhale and take it back high to the sky. Exhale, dive it in. We're making our hips warm so we can get into them deeper. Inhale, lift one more time. Exhale, tuck. Okay, I just want to do one more. Inhale, lift it again. And exhale, slowly bend your front knee. Land like you were gonna tuck, but you're just landing on your left shin. I'm gonna square up so that you can tell what I'm doing. You're gonna kick that heel over to the side, right? And sit down nice and slow. So if the right leg didn't stay crossed over, and this feels really uncomfortable, you can unhook, straighten out your left leg, and bring your right foot down to the ground over your left thigh. Okay, give yourself a little squeeze. Feel that grounding in your sits bones. Your knee is nice and tight towards you. If you feel comfortable now, you can always shift it over and bring it there so you're still grounded. Bring your right hand behind you. Inhale, lift your left arm. Exhale, take a little twist. Again, over to the right. If you put your arm in front of your thigh, you'll probably feel more of your twist. If you want to hook your right knee in tight to your chest, you'll feel a big booty stretch. Feel it out, one more. And then slowly unwind. So your legs aren't going to do anything too crazy. You're just going to open up that left ankle away from you, and then you're going to cross the right shin in front. Find your footing, aka your sits bones. Take a breath in, sit yourself up. Exhale and lean forward, crawl yourself forward, and pretend like this is a child's pose. So your heart is getting heavy, right? Your heart feels heavy. Even if you're propped up like that, I want you to feel like your sits bones are working their way back behind you. Your tailbone begins to lift. You can use the blocks underneath your forehead or your arms, or even your chest. Sometimes it feels good underneath your chest. Now you take 2 more deep breaths. Breathe in, start to lift yourself up. Bring your legs out in front of you. Keep your legs long. Take 1 more breath in, reach high. Exhale, fold it forward. Again, leading with your heart without letting it collapse first, right? Think about it pulling forward towards your feet or your ankles. The more you pull your toes back, the more of a stretch you'll get here. And then if you feel like you want to release more tension in your upper back and neck, let everything hang. Don't worry, we'll come back to this one. Last breath. Breathe in, release your grip. Stack up your spine, nice and slow. You can bend your knees, cross your ankles, and roll over your ankles, or just shift over so that you're on all fours again. Make your way back to your downward dog. Notice how this dog feels. Is it different? Is it the same? Do you feel the same energy in your hands? What about your spine? What about your hamstrings, your feet, your ankles hang a little heavier? And take a breath in, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, walk, step, hop, whatever you like. Grab your blocks. Inhale, take your half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, push through your feet, come all the way up to stand, nice and slow, either rolling or unhinging. Exhale, hands in towards your heart. You get a bonus breath. Inhale, right heel. Exhale, your word. Inhale, reach your arms up, tighten up your legs. Exhale, soften your knees, hinge in half, grab your blocks. Breathe in, think heart up, step your left foot forward. Exhale, step your left foot back. Make it a really long lunge. I want your back heel over your big toe. So if there's a little push back there, I want you to shift it forward. Settle into the hips, think heart lift, breathe in. Breathe out, try straightening out your left leg. Dip your head down as you look at your back heel. Let that be heavy. Move with it, with your breath. Inhale, come forward. Shoulder blades back. Full exhale to push back into your pyramid. Inhale, come through. Think about looking forward. Exhale, dive it back. Let's do 1 more. Breathe in. And exhale, dive back. Stay for 2 breaths. You can play with opening the hips, just pivoting. Then breathe in. Lift forward or bend forward into your left knee. You can keep your back knee lifted and really power it up, like you're stretching out the back of your knee. Plant your block down underneath your right shoulder. Take a breath in and lift your left arm up towards the sky. Notice if your shoulders start to collect up by your ears. Can you find a little push in your right hand, a little length? You could always touch your right knee down to the floor if that feels better. Take one more breath. And exhale, lower your right knee down. It's okay if it comes down now. And then take your left hand all the way back. You're going to reach for that foot. And I want you to use your breath if you feel like you have tight quads here, right? Breathe in to prep. Exhale, you'll kick nice and light. Ooh. So I told you the right side was tighter. Is that true? It's true for me too. So stay with it. Play with rolling to the outer edge of your front foot. You can also play with shifting your hips back, getting your heel close to your butt, and then diving down. And that is really gnarly, but doable, right? It's uncomfortable a lot of the times to get into these poses and stretches, and also uncomfortable in other situations in life, right? This is how yoga mimics life off the mat. Right? We can breathe through discomfort. We're allowed to feel that. And then guess what? We can let it go. Take yourself out, nice and slow. Shift yourself back so you're squared up over your front foot. Okay. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, start to walk yourself forward so you're on hands or blocks still. Block still. And then left foot. Lift your right leg all the way up to hip line. So you should feel that squeeze in your glute. Take a breath in. Think heel to crown, nice and long. Exhale, bend both knees. Tuck your right leg behind your left. Inhale, kick it up. Exhale, tuck it under. Feel the burn. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, kick it up. Exhale, bend, and then slowly, 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 as slow as you can, lower onto your right shin. Okay. And then you can settle down into your butt. You can always use blocks underneath there, and then like shift off the blocks if you needed to break that down and go slower. Bring the ground to you. Okay, bottom leg can straighten out if you need to. Gather up that leg nice and tight, and have your knee pointing straight up towards the sky. Left hand will come behind your back. You can always tuck that in later. Ground down, especially through this left sit bone. Breathe in, right arm up. Exhale, twist to the left. So again, using your arm in the front of your thigh can be more of a twist. You can push into your leg, or you can let this be more of a glute sensation, more of a glute stretch. And it's okay if your foot comes off the ground. I just want you to feel it in a nice spot that gives you enough sensation to keep you interested in what you're doing. Slowly unwind as you breathe in. And then you can shift your legs out so that your right leg is out first and then left shin in front. Squeeze your ankles tight, so pull your toes up. Shift onto your sit bones again. Breathe in, sit up tall. Breathe out, lean yourself forward. Like you're almost like you're crawling to look and see what's under the edge of your mat. So you're like looking really long. Imagine you had that blanket of pressure all the way across your hips. And even as if someone had their hands on your sacrum, they slide one hand all the way up your back. Can you find a little length there? And then let yourself drop down from there. Imagine the sockets of your hips starting to get some lubrication. And the muscles around your hip joint are feeling the stretch, like a really spongy or juicy rubber band, right? It's not dried out or too tight or too rubbery even. It's nice and elastic when it comes to your breath. And take a breath in, ride it all the way up to a sit or a seat. Then lengthen out your legs in front of you again. Shake it out. Sit up tall. Start with the bent knees, even if your hamstrings still feel a little tight. Okay, breathe in, reach up. Exhale, lead forward with your belly and then your chest. And then you can lengthen out your legs if that feels good. Give your quads an engaging squeeze. Pull your toes up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Use your biceps to pull you in a little closer. You can also just take your hands or arms underneath your legs. I like to, it's like you're doing a forward fold ragdoll kind of hang, but you're sitting down. You can still fold yourself in. Still move with your breath. You're breathing into the back and side bodies. Surrender something else. Or think about yourself in the dissolved, kind of faded color that you selected before. Let it fill up the space, not just within you, that you're looking down into, but the space, maybe even 3 feet out away from you. Breathe in that color. Let it go. One more time. And then breathe in, rise it all the way up into a seat. You can just sit cross-legged or however comfortable for yourself right now. Sit yourself up. Okay. So I want you just to close your eyes. Not worry about what this might look like, but take your fingers to your ears. And I want you to use like a little hook grip kind of with your fingers. Take your fingers to your ears and find your cheekbones. And then right below that, a little bit lower, just on the edge of where your jaw turns into a corner, it's like in this little section, this space right here. I want you just to take your fingers to your cheekbones and drag down or lift up and roll out in circles, in small, tiny circles where you feel any tension around your jaw. If you sit at home and work, or even if you go to work and you talk and you engage with people, it can be a little exhausting on the jaw, and tension can create right here in your masseters. You can even go underneath your cheekbones and start to scrub your face. If you look up facial muscles, there's so many. So paying attention to what's happening here, right? And they say that TMJ issues also relate to pelvic floor issues. And you know me, I find that super interesting. So let yourself release something else. Maybe there's something that you've been avoiding saying in a conversation you've been avoiding. See what happens after you loosen this area up. Practice the words coming out of your mouth, out of your throat space. And then when you're through, you can relax your hands. Let's move the feet forward out ahead of you. Settle your hips down into the middle of your space. Use your hands on your hamstrings if you need a little help. Breathe in, sit up tall. Breathe out, roll down, tailbone slides underneath you, followed by your sacrum, then your low back, and then your upper back, and then slowly all the way to your head. You can lengthen out your legs, give them a little shake, a little squeeze, or reach your arms all the way up overhead. Take a big breath in and breathe out. Take up space. Arms either down by your sides or up overhead. Bent or straight, doesn't really matter. Just want you to relax here and take 10 breaths, whether or not they're deep, whether or not they feel conscious or not. Just let them slip in and out of you. Watch your thoughts go by. Watch that color dissolve even more. Maybe you're completely past those 10 breaths. Maybe you feel right on time. Check in with yourself. Notice if you feel like lingering longer here on your back. Just let my words wash over you. But if you're feeling ready, you can begin to deepen your breath first. And start to expand that movement of your diaphragm out to your hands and your feet. Maybe your head rolls. Then you can take a full body stretch. Feeling that length all the way from toes to fingers. Bend your knees. Roll over onto either side. Take a short pause right here to find gratitude for yourself, for your day, whatever has happened in your life up to now. Give your gratitude a color, just for fun. Then use your top hand to pick yourself up into a seat. To close out the practice, gather your hands together at your heart. We'll do one more breath together. First, empty everything out. And do a fresh breath in through your nose. Open up, exhale. Thank you so much for showing up. From our hearts to yours. Namaste. Dad just gave me the thumbs up.